Last year, we hired this woman, Celestia the Clairvoyant, to estimate our projects. In this video, we'll explore why estimating software projects is so hard. But first, let's tell the story about Celestia the Clairvoyant. I know what you're thinking. Who in their right minds would hire a psychic to estimate software projects? But we were desperate. Project after project were missing their deadlines because we just couldn't get the estimates right. Celestia wasn't just any old mystic. No. She was a real banger of a fortune teller who knew her way around a crystal ball. Coming from a long heritage of mediums, the real deal, she channeled the energy from the souls of past project managers, creating divine new estimates that would emancipate us from the trials and tribulations of the current projects. A new set of guaranteed correct estimates written by the stars themselves. One small problem though. Now Celestia, she came and went, and the project progressed, and it turned out that her estimates, they were all wrong. Every single one of them. Granted, they weren't more off than the estimates we had made ourselves, but Celestia the Clairvoyant couldn't predict the future. Can you trust these days? You think this story is silly, don't you? But what if I told you that Celestia the Clairvoyant is you? This video is about the golden rule of estimation, and we're gonna get to that in the end. If you are a true psychic, of course, you already know the answer and you don't need to watch until the end. But for the rest of you, we're gonna start by going through 3 key concepts that underlie the golden rule of estimation. The first cornerstone in any good software estimation is to have a complete understanding of the entire software development process before we even begin developing. This shouldn't be a problem. We are software developers after all. This is our profession. We can always predict every single development task before it begins. We never need time to learn and explore new technologies that we've never used before. All the previously written code is always perfect. We never encounter old legacy code that requires an extra round of refactoring. In fact, all the code that we write is always perfect, right? Of course not. Every one of us knows that a complete understanding of the software development process before development begins is impossible. The second brushstroke on the canvas of estimate perfection is awareness of all unforeseen consequences. And I mean, how hard can it be? All we need to do is be aware of what we don't know. That's why I always instruct my team members to submit in advance a list of when they intend to get sick for the next 6 months. In addition to that, I instruct the sysadmin to give me a complete list of all unplanned crashes in our test environment. And finally, I feel confident that all members of my team have a perfect understanding of how those 15 years of legacy code will influence implementing new features. And that includes you, Tom, the new guy we hired last week. This is going to work just fine, right? Of course not. Unforeseen consequences are, by their very nature, impossible to predict. The third and final ingredient in the recipe for absolutely precise estimates is all stakeholders have a perfect understanding of the goal. Now, this should be a piece of cake. As anyone who's worked directly with the client knows, the customers always know exactly what they want. Their requirements are always right and correct and never needs any discussion or evaluation. In fact, I normally just bring my laptop to the client meetings and I just code the features right there and then. That's how we work, right? Of course not. A perfect understanding of all requirements aligned across all stakeholders at the onset of a project is impossible. When you make your estimates, you don't have a complete understanding of the software development process, you do not know about unforeseen consequences, and the goal is not aligned across all key stakeholders. This is when you become the clairvoyant. Estimates are predictions about the future. We don't know the future. When you make estimates, you're essentially doing the work of fortune tellers. The golden rule of estimation is you suck at it. You suck at it, I suck at it, we all suck at it. So the next time your boss loses his or her head over a poorly made estimate, just tell them, you just suck at it. Now, your boss might not like that answer very much, and in that case, just send them the link to this video and I'll explain why you are such a horrible fortune teller. This, of course, begs the question, why do we even bother estimating software projects at all? Isn't it all just a huge waste of time? Absolutely not. Estimates, with all their flaws, are essential to communicate and to align. As luck would have it, that's the topic of my next video, which also includes that one thing we're all terrified of when making estimates. So smash that shiny red subscribe button and you'll become the smartest fortune teller on the block. What did we learn today? Can you predict scope creep? Can you predict server crashes, clients changing their minds? No? Well, congratulations, you're just like the rest of us. The project that you are working on right now is simply too complicated. Reality, the unfortunate thing that we are living within, is simply too complex. And hence, the golden rule of estimation, you suck at it. If any one of you out there believe in clairvoyance and fortune tellers, please follow your instincts and hire some of them to do your estimates. And let me know how it went in the comments below, please.